YouTube channels. Two warnings on two Facebook channels now. Facebook is disconnecting. No notifications, man. My friend that lives in California, I'm going to send her over to my house to start packing up my glass.
Josh G. Hey there.
Hey, Josh. Did you get a notification by chance? I didn't.
Josh G. Got a rumble one.
Yeah. YouTube notifications are down and they're killing me. I had a hell of a show to do. And, yeah, I can see the notifications aren't going out, man. At all. I could see that the video is live. No, not even.
Heavy Padilla. Hello, Nay.
Hi, Heavy P. How's it going, brother? You didn't get a notification, did you? I'm assuming. I mean, I did appear 25,200. I mean, I did appear 25,200.
Heavy Padilla. No.
Dude, how do they have me down to 25,200 already? How is that even possible? Dude, how many people have they been deleting from my YouTube channel? Are you kidding me?
What's going on now?
God bless America. Wow, 25,287, man. Minus 7 in the last 28 days, my ass. Dude, not if they got me down. I was at 25.3 whatever a couple of weeks ago. And now it's 25,287. And they say that I've only negative 7 in the last 28 days. Bullshit. Try negative 40 or 50.
Yeah.
You know? How the fuck they even doing that shit? There, before you know it, I'm going to be under 25,000 again. It's no wonder if people aren't getting notifications when I go live.
Yep. I don't know how I'm not getting them.
Well, at least there's 4 people watching on Rumble, man. Dude, that is my Bread and butter. I mean, for this podcast, it's the notifications from YouTube. And right now, it is so obvious as many times as I tell my audience to follow me across all the social media platforms so they will get that notification. It's obvious I can't get these lazy motherfuckers to do dick. Those of you that are here have done it, and I appreciate it. Those of them that are not here don't know I'm here because they won't fucking follow simple instruction. Simple. And they're all like crying right now. I wonder why Nate's not live. I wonder why I'm not getting a notification that Nate. Where's Nate's notification? He's not getting a notification. Fuck you. I'm sick of this, bro. I'm sick of talking to people to have them not listen to me.
Yeah, I hear you. Not really. Come on, time to put into it. It's always been like that, though. Not this bad, though. Always good.
Here goes the crypto market. Thank you. Something's happening. Something exciting. That's good. A lot of green bars going up, 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 which we need. We'll see if everything responds. And in the meantime,
Kevin Lexnar. Yo.
Manually go onto your show here. Search you out. I'm not getting any notifications. Links. Okay, you are live on a bunch of channels.
Billy Bong Thornton. They shot
You're
down
saying you're
another
live?
object.
they shot down another weather balloon, another spy balloon.
Kevin Lexnar. U.S. shot down another object over Alaska.
Nice, nice. We can cover that right now. Breaking.
Billy Bong Thornton. Biden ordered just now.
Great. Great. That's great news. That's what we should do. Shoot these motherfuckers down. You know, that's what you should do.
Actually, just the balloon passed over Canada.
Billy
like it
Bong
wasn't there.
Thornton.
There was a testimony yesterday on that.
It's live press conference on Fox News.
I'm on. Fuck Fox News, you motherfucking pricks that watch Fox News. Fuck you. Hey, Billy Bong. Fuck you. You idiot. You Fox News fucking viewer.
Can the president say it was not a
Fucking
major
Fox
break?
News.
Kevin Lexnar.
Oh, it's on Fox News. I like to watch.
Very
I
small
get all my
on the
news from
size of
Fox
a small
News.
car.
It's the most accurate reporting I can find.
And we were able
Fucking
to
Fox.
take steps at sensitive
Billy
military
Bong
sites
Thornton.
that we believed would be
LOL.
along the flight path.
Fuck the cunt. Fuck the
to
cunts at Fox News.
significantly curtail any intelligence ability that the Chinese could get from the balloon. Certainly curtail anything
Why'd you be
that
some
would
little
above
kid
and
was flying his
beyond,
little drone or something?
You know, what they
It went
normally try to
astray.
collect through other means.
Dude, my drone
Thanks, John.
got shot down by an
President
F-18.
That was shot down within the last hour. Was that detected based upon any information?
Like the United States is all freaking out. Dude, it was a flock of seagulls. You shot down a flock of seagulls, United States. Way to go.
That informed the decision.
It was much smaller, had a much smaller
I'd be
payload, and
careful
it went
saying that
squawk,
anything
squawk, squawk.
specific to
Oh, I
what
thought
we
you meant the
learned
84 band.
from that last platform.
They were
And,
flying to
you know,
a
we
show
did
in a
we were able to
helicopter,
collect some
and they
information
shot
from
down
a
the flock of
wildlife flight. That was
seagulls.
another reason
The
why,
band.
we let it
Red skies at night.
Over land the way it
Oh.
did. But I would be I would not say that information gleaned from our surveillance of that surveillance balloon provided insights that permitted this detection and track.
And as of this moment, are you convinced that you shot down, do you know what you shot down, that it wasn't just, a harmless weather balloon?
Do you know what you shot down?
That there was some motivation
Marie
flying this over
Jacobson.
U.S. airspace, or is it
Why so
true?
mad, bro?
I'm not mad. I'm fucking with Billy Bong.
And the predominant
I'm fucking with
concern
my
of the
buddy.
president was a safety of flight issue
Red
at
skies
that
at
altitude.
HT
Remember the
is
one
the
that
fix.
we shot down last Saturday?
Oh, it's the fix. My bad. My bad. You're right. You're right. Because in my brain I was like, is that flock of seagulls?
This one at 40,000
The fix, my bad.
posed a threat to civilian aircraft, and it did not
Chemical
appear to
trap.
have the
Flock of
maneuverable
seagulls, sing
capability
around.
that the other one did. So
I don't know that one. Oh,
yeah,
and I
this was the limit
ran
of the
so
wind.
far
Thank
away.
you for
It's a
being
good
so follow
song.
up on what you
Hey
just
man,
said about
I
the
met the
impact
singer
that what you
from
guys-
Flock of
initially you
Seagulls
said there was a
multiple
reasonable
times.
threat
He was really good friends with my buddy who's
Exact
dead
words
now that
were
got me into
reasonable,
recording engineering.
Threat
No
to the
way.
safety of civilian
Yep.
flight.
Okay.
Dude,
and,
that dude is like
to
6'5".
What you said earlier about intent with regard to
Asta Marie Jacobson.
Anyway, I'll talk to you.
I am a garden gnome, and I am talking to you.
So the singer from Flock of Seagulls is like 6'5", and that's how you guys know that I met him. That's how I know he's super
Kevin
tall.
Lexnar.
He's huge.
I heard they
Dude, we're
used
going to go to
some
war
badasses.
eventually.
They had the hairband look, but they could kick some ass. Flock of seagulls. That's what I heard.
No, they're a bunch of
Like
pussies.
they were.
Does
Were
the
they?
U.S. give
I don't
any
know, I don't
credence to the Chinese argument that the balloon accidentally?
But that
veered
guy was
off
huge.
course
The
and ended
singer's
up
a
near it?
big man.
Which you're talking about? The
I mean,
one from last
I
year?
remember that. I remember every time I
So-
met
so
him, you know, I was
you-
like looking up at this guy.
Give any
Like,
credence
God, he's a big
to the
dude.
Chinese argument that
Like,
this
bigger than
plane
life, you know?
accidentally veered off course
It's like he has to be
and
big so
ended
people
up
can see him
where
standing
it
on
did.
stage.
So,
Kevin says we're going to war.
places with a
Kevin, where have you
military,
been? Man, you're so
uh,
funny.
What we know is that the flight path is executed.
Kevin, we're at war, bro. They just do it subtly now, but we've been at war. We've never stopped being at war since like frickin' Vietnam, bro. America's at war in like 10 different countries right now. If you know anybody who's in the military that's got kids over there, whatever, you can find out. We're literally losing people. We're killing people. We're doing all kinds of shit all the time. We're always at war. It's we're a war
Admiral
country.
Kirby, on the latest
You know?
object, you said it did not appear to have the
It's how we make our money.
capabilities that the Chinese spy balloon had. Did it have any maneuverability, or was it flying?
Dude,
on
I've got the
Time-
whole interview
all
from
I can
earlier
tell you
today,
is it
guys,
does
with
not
that
appear to have
crazy
the
New
ability
York
to,
girl on CNN,
independently-
and it is
We'll
unwatchable.
we'll
And
attempt
we're gonna
to
get
cover
high
it,
and watch
we'll
it.
See what we can learn more from.
Sorry, just one more on the Chinese spy balloon. We're reporting that the U.S. is about to impose export controls on Chinese companies that are believed to have been involved in that balloon surveillance program.
Oh my
Can you
God,
confirm that
whatever.
and say when the administration might impose those export controls?
I'm not in a position to confirm those reports right
Leave
now.
China alone!
Thank you, Admiral. I believe
Cheers,
that
Jiminy.
was
Cheers,
shot
everybody. No
down
law regarding
or
cannabis. I'm
landed
so glad
in
you
the
guys are
waters
finding the
or
show
frozen waters off the
live.
coast of Alaska, correct?
That is our
Asta Marie
initial
Jacobson and
Is
Chemical
the
Trend. How did you
policy
find my
still,
show? Because no
considering the first one
notifications
was
went
shot
out.
down
So let me know how
off
you
the
found
East
my
Coast
show. It's an
and
awesome
this
show.
high-altitude
You're going to
object
love
was
this
shot
show.
down
Cheers.
Off the West Coast, is the policy at this point in time, you could shoot it down if it's over a body of water.
I wouldn't derive from these two incidents some sort of policy that comes out of it. The president will always act in the best interest of the American people and international security. Last week, we were talking about a surveillance asset that was purposely flown over the continental United States.
VD.
In the case today, we're talking about
Heavy
an
dude!
object. Again, we
What's
don't
up,
know
bro?
a lot about it, but that at its altitude represented a potential threat to the safety of flying customers, civil air traffic.
Based on your broad and deep experience, who do you think might own or have flown this thing in the air?
I have no idea.
I know you don't know who owns it or who's flown it, but has anyone from the administration reached out to the Chinese to see whether they will claim this new object?
I know of no outreach this afternoon to the Chinese government about this.
The State Department over the weekend, or last few days, I'm losing track of days, but since the first spy balloon, confirmed that they think that these Chinese spy balloons have gone over 40 countries. Considering that fact and this new development today, what's next on a larger diplomatic front? The U.S. talking with allies about how to police the skies, about how to bring this to the UN to figure out what to do?
We are talking to dozens of nations who we know have been overflown by Chinese surveillance balloons. Part of this program that the Chinese have invested in, to share with them the context and information that we've learned by the forensics we've done since we came in office about this particular program. And I would remind you that we briefed Congress in a classified setting back in August about this. This is not something we haven't been trying to learn more about.
Dude, we just shot one down before it went over the United States. I think we're taking it seriously. You're kind of weird and not paying attention, are you?
From the balloon we shot down on Saturday, last Saturday, will help us gain even more information. But we are in the active conversations with many of these countries who we know have been overflown.
Yeah, where specifically in Alaska was the high altitude object shot down?
So the Pentagon will be talking more about this a little bit later. They'll probably have more detail for you. But the general area would be just off the very, very northeastern part of Alaska, right near the Alaska-Canada border.
I was looking for the American
in fact, that's where it went down, on that northern side of Alaska, near the Canadian border, on water that is frozen in the, yes.
Asta Marie Jacobson, you have no idea how much that meant to me that you just told me that. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you found that documentary on my channel. I'm so glad. CNN is running it again tomorrow night, I believe.
About the balloon and the track first came to our attention last evening.
Okay. What time thereabouts?
I don't have an exact time on the clock for you. It was last evening.
Well, have you ruled out, or not ruled out, but you have not determined that it was surveillance in nature, correct?
We haven't ruled anything in or out. And that's why we're calling this thing an object. And
you just called it a balloon. You misspoke there.
I'm sorry. It's not a, yes, I'm sorry. You guys have...
You can't say it's a balloon either.
You guys have me with balloon on the brain right now.
You got balloon brain, all right. You work for the United States government.
Let me just clarify, I'm not classifying it as a balloon right now. It's an object. We're still trying to learn more from it. That it landed on water that is frozen could help us assist, make it easier for us to try to recover some of the debris. The U.S. Northern Command is examining what the possibilities for that are.
You said you have no knowledge of any outreach to the Chinese yet from the administration. Are there plans to reach out and ask whether they...
I know of no plans to reach out to the Chinese specifically on this. I want to stress again, we don't know what entity...
Yeah, I know you meant to say a lie. It doesn't matter if it's a plane or whatever. It shouldn't have been there, and we took it down. I don't care what it was. I don't care if it was an unmanned drone, a balloon, a plane, spy plane, a bomber, a rocket, a missile, a kite. I don't care. If it's coming over the United States and it didn't come from here, we need to take that seriously and we need to take it down. And we need to let other countries know that we're going to take this stuff down when it comes over. Right now there's a million bad guys out there that are trying to figure out how to get a balloon over the United States with poison on it or, something on it, because now they saw that it's possible.
Francesco Moro.
It's freaking frightening. Hey, Francesco.
One question
it's freaking frightening.
This incident, and then one on a separate subject, if I may.
And maybe a response.
Given how little was known about this object at the time that our forces shot it down,
maybe a response
is safe to say that when the president ordered that it be shot down, he did not know whether it was a manned or unmanned object.
Right? Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Able to
I don't fucking care.
Get some fighter aircraft up and around it before the order to shoot it down, and the pilot's assessment was that this was not manned.
Whatever.
Different subject.
Who cares if
After
it
the
was?
State of the Union address,
Shoot
minutes
it down.
after he finished delivering
Billy
the State of the
Von
Union
Thornton.
address, President Biden encountered
The first one had a white powder
in the halls of
when
the
they shot it
Capitol
over the
Brittany
ocean.
Alconis, the wife of your Navy comrade Ridge Alconis, who, as you know, remains imprisoned in Japan. And the president told Mrs. Alconis, we're going to get this done. I wonder if you can tell us if the Alconis case figured in the conversation that the president had with the Japanese Prime Minister when he visited here last month, and if you can flesh out the president's promise to Mrs. Alconis. I know generally you don't like to say a whole lot about these kinds of efforts, but what can you tell us about what's being done on behalf of Lieutenant Alconis?
They just
I would go back to what I said to you last time,
What
James.
if it was
I mean,
a
the
plane
president's
full of
well aware
Chinese
of this
children
case,
or something?
and he's well aware
Kevin
of what the family's
Lexnar.
going through. He's also
Bunch of
well aware of
malarkey.
concerns by the Japanese government with respect to their judicial system, and he's got the team working on this. I'm not going to disclose.
Those guys shot that
personal
plane in
conversations
Ukraine in
that the president
2014
had
down
either with
intentionally. I don't know what
Josh
you're
Jeeves.
thinking.
or with
It wasn't an
Put May and
accident.
Cyber up in the skies with AF-35, and we won't see another problem ever.
Thank you, Kareem. Admiral, over here.
What's
to ask you.
Creamy Davis. Not saying it was, but you've got to look.
No, you don't. No, I'll shoot that thing with a missile from the ground. You put if I was president of the
Creamy
United States.
Davis.
No,
Look before
I don't have to
shooting.
look at something that's coming into my airspace
Francesco
from another
Mara.
country. That's
LOL.
their job. Whoever sent it, that was their job. You know, they were supposed to contact me and tell me this is flying over into my country. I don't have to identify it. All I have to do is shoot it the fuck down. By any means necessary. This is my country. You're not flying shit over my country. That's if I'm the president of the United States. That's what I would do. You know, if I ruled the world. You know, I don't have to look. I don't have to waste my time. I don't have to risk that pilot's life to fly up there to see if there's people in something up there. I don't care. You're getting shot down before you reach my goddamn coastline. That's what a president should do. Protect the United States. That's their
You have
job.
to intercept and make them land and interview them extensively for at least 72 hours with lawyers provided. or
You watch
something.
way too much Fox
Billy Von
Mulder.
Thornton. They could spy with their satellites. Using a giant balloon is being scary. Could be anything in there.
You watch way too much Fox Mulder, bro. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you. Shoot first, then you don't have to ask any questions later. That's the saying. That's how it
Well, if they're
goes.
going to get Western aircraft, then they're going to need to be trained on them.
Will happen. They'll get Western aircraft.
That would be up to the nations that may be willing to provide aircraft.
I mean, if you're Joe Biden
I've said
and you just got cucked on that last balloon, bro, you ain't waiting around to fucking go ask them for a goddamn greeting card when they're fucking flying into your airspace. Fuck that shit. You're messing with a demented individual that's losing his mind. What do you think he's going to do now? Of course he's going to shoot your shit down. I mean, I would shoot your shit down too.
into a military.
But
that
hey,
they have
this is what I have to say for Joe Biden.
That there's going to have to.
Oh, he did exactly what the Republicans wanted him to do. Oh my God, he's going to be the next president of the United States again, and he knows exactly how to do it.
On combined arms maneuver. So it's not unusual.
And all I
to do
can
that
say
with
is,
advanced capabilities
I
provided,
hate
but that's
Republicans,
gonna be a
and I can't see a single Republican doing any better job than Joe Biden is doing now. So kudos to Joe Biden. I think he's got this figured out. I think he's got this one wrapped up. All you have to do now for 2 years is just keep his heart beating
Detected before they enter the U.S.
and keep his
I think
fat
we're gonna
fucking
continue to
mouth
learn a lot
shut.
about how
His gaff hole.
how
Dude,
these things are.
If Joe Biden
or
can
can
keep
be
his gaff hole closed for just 2 more years, he's got this thing wrapped up.
He felt he had in his domain awareness. So from this incident last week, we'll certainly learn about the capabilities of that surveillance asset. But we also expect to learn more about our own processes and our own systems for detection and tracking. I don't want to get into exactly how this
Not
one
hard,
was
I just kind of bumped
detected,
him in the face
but,
and woke him up. That freaked him out.
I can assure you that we're going to continue to try to improve our own knowledge base with respect to these systems.
So bad.
I
gotta apologize to my
proximity
dog.
of it and its flight path to the sensitive oil fields near Prudhoe Bay.
And was there any threat at all at any
Even if he
point
doesn't
to
believe
that
Trump and
equipment
DeSantis
in that
are going to
region
tear
of
each other
Alaska?
apart and
I'm
probably
referring to the
cause a
Pentagon for more
Republican civil
detail
war.
about the track. Again, this just all happened within the last hour, so I don't know what the proximity was.
Breaking news in the
oil
garden.
fields. And your second question was?
Oh, it was just about the sensitivity, you know, the oil fields, basically.
Well, again, I mean, we just don't know what this object.
No, I'll tell you what's no. I'll tell you what's going to go on
it'd be
between
difficult
Trump.
for me to point to a threat or a specific.
I'll tell you what's going to go on between Trump and DeSantis. Trump is going to end up going, getting charged.
Patrick John Welder.
And he's not going to have to run.
I wonder what the Pentagon
DeSantis will be the nominee. DeSantis will be the nominee, and if Joe Biden just keeps his gaff hole shut, he can beat DeSantis. And all he has to do is run ads showing that he tortured people in Guantanamo
Creamy
Bay.
Davis. Sorry for the misspells. English isn't my first language.
What's your first language, Creamy? Let me know.
This move, if it proves to be true, it doesn't come as a big surprise.
I'd say you speak English very well. I never would have known that.
And it just shows you the lengths to which he's willing to use resources like energy as a weapon. What the United States will do, have done, continue to do, is work with allies and partners to make sure we can better balance supply and demand, and try to meet that need. It's important. We still believe that Mr. Putin not be allowed to profiteer in an inappropriate way off of the oil he puts on the market so that he can then fund his military.
Well, we got plenty of smoke here. I live in Florida. There's a lot to smoke
I don't
here.
have any diplomatic outreach to speak to today. We're going to continue to talk to allies and partners. Certainly OPEC falls in that category, but I don't have any specific conversations to talk about.
Thank you, Carlina. Thank you, John. I have two questions. China is claiming ownership of the balloon, and China said that they will take legal actions. Will you send the balloon back to the China?
There are no plans to send the debris that we are recovering back to China. We're going to pull it up off the bottom of the ocean, and we're going to learn more about this capability.
Second question,
balloon
Iran
capability?
is building a drone factory in Russia, and North Korea is receiving a military drone from
Is that the Chinese
Russia.
flag they captured
How do
speaking?
you view armed cooperation between North Korea, Iran, and Russia?
I can't confirm those specific reports, Jenny, but I was up here not long ago talking about the burgeoning defense relationship between Iran and Russia, which is not only not good for the people of Ukraine, it's not good for the people of the Middle East, because it'll flow both ways, and Russian capabilities could very well end up in Iranian hands. And I would say the same about North Korea. We know, I got up here and showed you pictures, we know that they're providing ammunition to Russia, artillery ammunition specifically. And again, that's not only not good for the people of Ukraine, it's not good for the Korean Peninsula and the region there, that Russia and North Korea could be, again, developing a deeper defense relationship.
Thanks, John. Just a few more on the, you said it was discovered last night. Was it flying consistently at an altitude of roughly 40,000 feet that entire time?
Roughly, yes.
Were there any sightings that you're aware of by airmen, civilian
No,
aircraft
sir.
operators? No.
No, sir.
And can you, just to nail it down, can you tell us when the president gave the order to shoot?
Gave the order to shoot it down this morning.
This morning.
Again, just keep following up on this.
That's what's going to get him reelected.
The speed with which you guys,
Joe Biden just got, if he just holds this,
to shoot it down,
he just got reelected. More Americans agree that balloon, that other balloon, should have been shot down immediately. Fuck China.
Something
right?
specific,
Who cares? It's a fucking balloon.
Than just
nobody, not a Republican, not a Democrat, not anybody is going to be able to reprimand Joe Biden for what he just did. He did his job, and he did his job correctly. And boy, that's going to sting the Republicans. It's going to sting Ron DeSantis, and it's going to make it so he's not going to be able to be the next president.
Is there no way in which that could have
just analysis, folks? Just analysis.
you know,
Probably the most accurate analysis you're ever going to get.
This area until we know better what this thing is, because we're, you know, I mean, in other words, was there some reason why?
And watch, now that I've said this, for the next week, you're going to hear people saying the exact same thing. Oh, Joe Biden, man, Joe Biden, it's Biden really did a good thing. Oh, Biden did the right thing. Oh, Biden didn't hesitate. He didn't even flinch. Biden's got the whole country's back. Biden's really protecting America. Biden cares. Biden's doing the job. Biden's getting the job done. It's all you're going to fucking hear. And there's nothing Ron DeSantis can do about it. There's nothing he can do. He says he fights Biden. And oh, really? Really, DeSantis? You fight the guy that just protected all of America? Weird, huh? Here I am defending fuck Joe Biden.
Which was
Crazy.
Much smaller.
Just telling you all the truth, man. I know it stings.
Capabilities on the fighter aircraft themselves,
but
speed at which they were flying, it was difficult for the pilots to glean a whole lot of information. Not like we were able to glean off the other.
And he didn't flinch. They'll be able to call him flinchless Biden. He's fucking 110 years old. He didn't even fucking flinch.
Several days to track
like a badass,
there
bro.
was a limit to how much they could.
I don't like Joe Biden.
Also,
I'm just telling you guys, this is how a lot of Americans are going to view him now.
And so the first engagement by fighter aircraft.
Be prepared for another 4 years of this old fart shitting himself.
It was a small object.
Get ready for it. We're ain't going to be in for another
high speed and the ability to
but
get
there's
a lot
no
of,
one else
a lot
I'd
of
see
information was limited, which
that
is why
would,
they did another,
especially on the right.
Flight,
China sent the first.
Who do you want to put in there? Pete Buttigieg? Really?
And shot it down late, so they sent another.
Fucking Obama light.
Up there as well
no, thank
as
you.
The size
China
of the object
Biden to win
made
again
it a
at
little bit
any
more
cost.
difficult.
Confirmed there was a flight last night to
There was a
surveillance.
yes. That's right. There was at least two that I know of. Again, the Pentagon will probably have more detail, but at least two. There was a
Creamy
last
says
night,
China's trying to win Biden the election. That's an interesting spin on this. I would have never even thought about that. China is giving him pinatas to take down
today, and of course,
so that he will remain president.
In a shoot down.
Just one more
Dude,
question.
this is going to drown out Ron DeSantis. It's going to drown out Donald Trump. It's going to drown out everything. This is how you dominate a news cycle, and you do it on a Friday. It couldn't be any easier. This was like teed up for the Democrats and Joe Biden.
We're going to remain vigilant about our airspace.
They're loving this shit. They're just
vigilant about
they're licking
the
it up.
skies over the United States. And as I said earlier,
lick it up.
The president his obligations to protect the national security interest and those of and the safety and security of the American people is paramount. And he's always going to decide and act in a way that is commensurate with that duty. That's the real takeaway here.
Okay, way in the back. Did the U.S. ask Brazil to block Iranian warships from docking in Rio, and if so, why?
We did not ask the Brazilians to block that. Those ships are sanctioned ships, specifically, and we don't want to see them dock anywhere in this hemisphere. We've been very clear about that. But there was no specific ask made of Brazil. That's a sovereign decision.
Hey, algorithm, go fuck yourself.
I wanted to follow up a question I asked you in September. In light of
no
the
law regarding
Chinese
cannabis.
pipeline
Cannabis
incident,
isn't for all.
does this
Cheers,
administration
Jiminy and
consider
Patrick
Chinese
John
land
Welder.
purchases near U.S. military bases a national security threat?
When you said
I scared the lady next to you in the car.
Are always concerned about
Josh, cheers,
foreign
Creamy,
collection
cheers, everybody over here on
our military sites.
on the Rebel Sphere.
Last week is a good example of that. We take that seriously, whether that's terrestrial related or whether it's from the air. And I think I'll just leave it at that.
Would you be working perhaps with Congress to put in place legislation to prevent that kind of?
We are always willing to work with Congress to address our national security interests and, and threats as best we can.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
Thank you, Karen.
You've received 100 messages today with
of
Restream chat.
You'd have to talk to the Pentagon. I don't know. Again, guys, this just happened within the last hour and a half, and they're still assessing where this thing landed and the degree to which they can get to it.
On the Poland visit, I know in the statement that you put out, Karine, it says that the president is going to meet with leaders of the eastern flank NATO countries. Are any other European leaders, NATO leaders expected to join the president on this trip?
We're still putting the agenda together. The predominant reason to meet with them, the Bucharest Nine, as you call it, is to really talk to those nations who are literally on the eastern flank of the NATO alliance.
This guy is a big warmonger.
There may be additional
for big war. He's all he ever does is he goes on and he promotes war with Russia from Ukraine. He doesn't give a goddamn about the Ukrainians. All he wants to do is just perpetuate war. He's a piece of human garbage. Just so you know who you're listening to.
Let's have the visit occur here shortly, and we'll provide you a readout. I don't have anything specific on that.
Thank you. So, John, the U.S. Special Presidential Coordinator for Global and Infrastructure Energy is in Angola. So he met with President Lorenzo. Can you elaborate a little more on this visit?
I don't have any information on that. We'll take the question and see if we can get you a better answer.
Just a quick one on the timeline. Was the president briefed on the object last night when the track first came to the administration's attention?
He was.
So far,
he was as soon as the Pentagon had enough information to provide him, they did that.
Last question.
You know, his path of destruction appeals to the whole swath of freaking Americans, you know? The pro-war Democrats that want to fight Russia forever, you know, they love that America blew up the Nord Stream and the Nord Stream 2 pipelines. They think that's great. He's speaking to all Americans, bro. And of course, the Republicans support, you know, war and support national security. Hey, man, if Biden addresses the border, bro. Wow, that's all he has to do now, address the border.
Billy Bond.
convince?
I hate that
I'll let
the
the Prime Minister speak to whatever efforts he's willing to undertake.
Creamy, there's a reason for that. Somebody came in before and abused the privilege, so it's down a little bit. I hope you'll understand. You know, if people wouldn't come in and be stupid fucking cunts with my chat, I wouldn't have to turn the volume down so low on it.
With President Zelensky's
But unfortunately, we've got fucking stupid cunts out there.
Leadership, his determination of what is acceptable to the Ukrainian people. Nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine. So President Biden has said this, gosh, dozens of times. We think this war could end today, should end today. The single person responsible for what the Ukrainian people are going through is Vladimir Putin.
Listen to this.
And he could stop it right now. Instead, he's firing cruise missiles into energy.
Oh, wait, are you sending an envoy of Russia to Moscow? Are you speaking to him?
Even more than they already.
You know, are you still employing the Barack Obama method of ignoring Vladimir Putin and never talking to him? Never picking up the phone. I'm Barack Obama, I'm not going to talk to Vladimir Putin, you know, because I can't do that. But today, I'm like, oh, why isn't anybody talking to Vladimir Putin? No, bro. Now I'm Barack Obama, and now I'm asking why people aren't talking to Vladimir. You're the one that started it, Barack Obama. It's your fault, man.
When is the next trip? I don't have any travel other than the travel that Karine talked to today. I don't have any travel to announce. Thanks, guys.
You know, who was president of the United States when the Donbass was getting freaking
the breaking
shelled?
news that the president ordered the downing of another, as it's described, high-altitude object.
I'm a high-altitude object right now, and I hope you are too. Let's do another bong rip and see.
Much smaller than the Chinese spy balloon.
Good morning, local. Rafael Marquez.
This described as the size of a small car. Right now, they don't know if this is owned by China or state-owned by some other country, privately owned by a corporation. But they say that the fighter jets got close enough to determine that it was unmanned. It was
this sort of thing out in my creek,
but flying at about 40,000 feet. There's a lot to talk about. Let's bring in CNN's chief international anchor, Christian Amanpour, CNN's chief White House correspondent, Phil Mattingly, CNN national security reporter, Natasha Bertrand, CNN national security correspondent, Kylie Atwood, and CNN military analyst, retired Colonel Cedric Layton.
Oh boy, look at all of the pundits we have. Fun. Look, we got all grown up Jackson Hinkle in the top right corner, all grown up.
This breaking news was not in the prepared
all grown up Jackson Hinkle, top right corner.
John Kirby. He went through the trip to Poland and
Jackson Hinkle all grown up. Now got himself a job on CNN.
Other details about support for Turkey and Syria,
Rafael
but only in
Marquez.
response to a question about a rumor.
What you smoking?
OG Kush, Raphael.
The confirmation of the trip
That's
to
what
Poland
I'm
was
smoking.
supposed to be the breaking
I'm
news
smoking
of
it.
this press
I'm
conference.
smoking it with my
You
friend
laid it out.
Jimmy.
This was not
I'm smoking it with my friend
prepared remarks. I think to
Rafael
some degree
Marquez.
that
I'm smoking it with
underscores
my
just
friend
how quickly
Creamy Davis
this
and my
came to
friend
pass
Billy
over the course of the
Bonthorn,
last hour.
and to
I think
all the
timeline here is
rumblers in the
important as
sphere.
well. When you track
Smoking
back,
with
they
all of
said
my
that they
friends
received
today.
information about
Cheers
this
to all of you,
unidentified
no law
object
regarding cannabis.
last night. The
Cannabism
president was briefed
for all.
shortly thereafter. Fighter jets
Cheers.
ended up flying next to this object, first last night, then again this morning. And the big difference here between, well, there are a lot of differences
Still
here
got
between
any
what we
Jack
saw
Carrier, bud?
with the alleged Chinese spy balloon and
Josh
this
G.
unidentified object. Also, a significant number of
surprised
questions
Jackson
was
has a following
where it
of
was
any
flying.
party
And it was flying at
slash show.
40,000 feet. The
He's
spy balloon
become
had been
so
at 60,
vile and out of
65,
pocket
70,000
on
feet.
Twitter.
The 40,000 foot mark, according to John Kirby, the National Security
Jackson's
Council spokesman,
evolving.
posed a threat.
And just like Jackson is evolving, his audience will evolve too, and his audience will find him. It's not going to be pretty, but look at Andrew Tate. He's doing exactly the Andrew Tate thing, and he's going to do fine.
About an hour, maybe 90 minutes ago. They do not have a lot of details on what that object is, besides the fact that it is significantly smaller than the alleged Chinese spy balloon. They do not know if there is any intelligence collection equipment on that. They did assess that it posed no imminent military threat to individuals on the ground, but they also do not know who owns it, as you noted. I think that's a really critical point here. They don't know if it was a state actor, if it was private owned, if it was commercial. So the big questions that are still outstanding, and we'll hear from the Pentagon shortly, will need to be answered and likely won't be answered until recovery. And I think that's another key piece of this, is it was shot down over water where the water is frozen. They're in the process, just starting the recovery process now. So a lot of unanswered questions, very clear differences from the balloon that was shot down literally just 6 days ago.
Okay, I'm going to skip ahead to the live.
The U.S. just a couple of days ago. John Kirby says that he knows
This is
of no
live
outreach
CNN,
to
guys.
China, and the latest reporting CNN has is that calls to China, outreach to China,
So it looks
is
like-
going unanswered.
It looks like the
Yes, he
reporting
did.
has reached the threshold of information that we need. Now, from now on, it's just going to be, how long can they string us along? So we're done.
Yeah.
We're not going to be strung along. I've got so many other things to talk to you guys about. So this is also funny because this is from CNN, but it has to be seen. I saw a lot of it. I saw the first half of it, and I suffered through it. And since I suffered through it, I'd like to share it with you because we spoke about it on this morning's show. And when I said to you guys, hey man, I found some of it, we sat through a minute of this video. And after 1 minute of it,
It's 2 years.
after 1 minute of it,
Oh, not this.
people were in my chat saying, I can't take it anymore. There's no. I said, it's okay. It's only a minute and a half, right? And then it was over. I've got. Are you ready for this? The full 7-minute video that I saw this morning. And remember, when I was watching it, I didn't see the whole thing because I was like so turned off by it that I just kind of stopped paying attention. But then I realized after about a minute of being turned off by it, I was like, this is something I should be talking about on my show. Because this is obnoxious, right? Because I tuned it out. But for those that haven't seen this, I'll just basically let the segment explain itself. I'll make sure the volume's up nice and loud, and we're going to be getting high in the background while we watch. If I stop, it's going to be only to probably make comments about something that you just heard. But for the most part, check out this segment, and it's going to be prefaced with CNN wonders why they have the lowest ratings that they've had in 9 years. Watch this now.
New York City family visiting relatives in Turkey are among the victims of this deadly earthquake. Barak Farik, his wife Kimberly, and their two sons, 2-year-old Hamza, 1-year-old Bilal, were found dead and pulled from the rubble
Depends on
of
what you're
a
triggered by, I
five-story
guess.
building that collapsed. Now, the family had been staying in Elbistan, near the epicenter of the second deadly earthquake. So joining us now to tell us about her sister, her brother-in-law, 2 nephews, Kimberly, Fareek's younger sister, Salma Salazar.
Creamy Davis.
Thank you.
Turkish people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We know it's tough. I want to ask you how you're doing because I know it's rough. But what do you want people to know?
First and foremost, I want people to know that this is a big problem right now in Turkey and in Syria. And although I lost my family, there are currently still people under there. Their children, the number of the death toll, like, it's rising. And the only thing I think that we ask is having the help, the awareness that this is still happening, and just getting as many people, all hands on deck. It's something that when I found out that my sister and the rest of my family was missing, there was no rescue teams. This is something that the building collapsed and it was just 3 people on site and manpower being used just for one location, because at that time everything was chaotic. Everyone was a priority. So it's really difficult. This is really difficult to see this. So we're all very broken in my family. And me and my sister, we yearn, our hearts are broken.
Can you tell us about them?
So my sister was 6 years older than me. She was very graceful. She was very lovable. She was very passionate about everything that she did, and she certainly put everyone's needs above her own. And my brother-in-law was very, very, very helpful in the community. He was very selfless. He was extremely intelligent. And all he wanted to do was help the community. And he was donating to Africa. He was very active with nonprofit organizations. We're really broken.
Do you want to tell us about your nephews?
My nephews. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We see them. They're beautiful.
My first nephew, his name is Hamza. He's 2 years old. And my little one was a year old. And there are no words I can describe how my family's feeling, how they were taken away so soon. They were just children. And we're mourning. We had so much hope. Our hope was to see him, in programs and enroll him in school. And now we don't have that. We've lost all our hope. We don't have anything. My mom and my dad, they're very broken. It's like starting over from nothing. It's really difficult.
How can we help you? Everyone wants, they're going to hear your story and be so touched by it.
This is this is very chaotic. This is a huge loss that we are experiencing in my family, and not only in my family, but in the whole country in Turkey. My sister and the kids, they were U.S. American citizens. They were born here. They were raised here. And my parents and me, we had, accept and made a huge, great sacrifice in understanding and coming into terms that once we found out, we were ready to go on the next flight to Turkey. But we didn't have that option because the roads were cracked. There was a risk. Our lives were at risk if we went. They weren't letting people inside the city where the epicenter was occurring. They were in Elbistan, Kahramanmaraş. This is a town. This is a small town where once the buildings collapsed, 80 to 95% of the town was completely demolished. It was very difficult to just get a machine in to help collect and pick up the cement, big blocks of cement rocks. You know, so just, we lost 5 family members, my 2 nephews, my brother-in-law, my sister, and my brother-in-law's mother, and his dad, so my brother-in-law's father, was the only survivor.
And he just had open heart surgery, you said.
He had open heart surgery.
Dude,
and
I gotta stop right there just for 1 second. It's almost over. How did she go through all their names like completely emotionless like that? It's like there's no way I would have been able to say, like, if all my family just died in an earthquake and then I was just going through all, I lost this, that.
Dang.
She went through it like she was talking about all the baseball cards she owns. It was just so weird and surreal that I never noticed that one part before, so I just wanted to point that out. That was weird, but
basically saw his building collapse before his own eyes, and he couldn't do anything. And he called my mom, and he said, "Mom," he said, "Barack, Mari,
Josh G.
Hamza, Bilal,
Crazy
they're
man.
gone. They're gone.
Gotta
They're
be in
under-
shock still.
They left." And so he spent over 12 hours digging and just finding people to help him dig because the machines weren't able to go in.
Well, listen, we are, there aren't words. And we know that this is tough for you, and there are many families here in America who have loved ones there and have lost. And so we're all thinking about you, and our thoughts and prayers are with you, and we really appreciate you coming in. We know this isn't easy to do.
it's the last place
So
I'd
thank you
want
for
to
your
be.
strength and your courage and your dignity, and we're sorry.
Yeah,
for
I'm
your
going to
loss.
go on. I just lost my whole family in an earthquake. I'm going to go on CNN and tell the world my story. Dude. I'm so cringed over that. What did you guys think about that?
It was
Dude,
so
I
contrived.
I don't believe that there's still 17 people watching, because there's no way 17 people hung out through that. Let me just, I'm about a way to check here. Yeah, it's not. I had a feeling. Okay, whatever. It's 11. I had a feeling it wasn't 17, bro. Fucking stupid fucks. It's 16 people watching across all the channels, so that's cool.
Rafael Marquez. Rafael Marquez. They forgot the GoFundMe link, LOL. They forgot the GoFundMe link, LOL. Creamy Davis. How many of the 16 do you think are troll accounts? Josh G. My opinion is that CNN found the only person in shock that was blinded by who they were in the interview. I mean, it's nice to cover and spread awareness, but that felt like an autopsy.
I don't know, but if trolls want to boost my numbers, I don't give a fuck whose accounts they are. You know what I'm saying? If they're making my numbers go up, I don't care if they're a troll or not. I'm a fucking troll. So let trolls watch me. In addition, they forgot the GoFundMe link. They didn't. I mean, they cut the GoFundMe link off. But if I remember correctly, she says at the end, her GoFundMe link, there is a website you could go to, right, to help pay for expenses for the family. So whether you, Raphael, I don't know if you'd seen the whole, they did, CNN cut it off. It's interesting. They cut that off the end.
I wonder why.
Appreciate you coming in. We know, and our thoughts and prayers are with you, and we really appreciate you coming in. We know this isn't easy to do. So thank you for your strength and your courage and your dignity, and we're sorry for your loss.
There's no link.
Thank you so much.
It puts a human face on it, everybody says. Really? You know, all the hundreds and thousands of people that you see on the news every day isn't a human face. It had to be some New York girl who wasn't even there. That puts a face on it for you. That's not, you know, it sucks losing your whole family, and that's a horrible thing. But you imagine losing your whole family and being there, and losing your legs too. You lost everything that you fucking own. You send New York bitch up in here? That's CNN thinks you want to see. I'm just kind of wondering what everybody else thinks in the chat. You know, I'm just kind of wondering. Because I personally, I had no curiosity. I had no desire to hear anything that woman had to say at all. I feel horrible for all those people. I don't need to hear a personal story like that. I want to know how many people are dead over there. I want to know what you're fucking doing to fix it.
Creamy Davis. They probably would have gotten a Turk who was there, but they're all probably a bit busy.
Nobody
Woodchuck Montrose.
Nobody wants to come off it.
Heavy Padilla.
That's cool.
Me too.
Oh, okay. Heavy P says me too. He's giving the me too. Okay. Right on. Tires are up too. He says my Cadillac is rolling on 22s, son.
Creamy Davis. Okay, Ben well got to go. Big kiss to you.
Where the fuck's Billy Valentine at? The object was flying at an altitude of 40,000 feet and posed a reasonable threat to the safety of civilian flight. We've got something else to talk about too. I put it on the Twitter sphere, I believe, so I wouldn't forget it. George Santos! That's right! George Santos. George Santos is being, they are filing to have him removed from office. I got Rogan's toes clipped yesterday. His toenails.
Creamy Davis. Dems are
wow, dude, really? Is that what you are?
anything.
You're just some. You think you're some fucking cool? Look at me. I'm some cool little troll. Yeah, look at me. I've been talking to you all this time. How many accounts do you think are troll accounts? Blah blah blah. Like I didn't know. Hey, what's up, brother? Good. I'm gonna send you some backup. Yeah, I'm going to send Dino, and he's going to bring some friends, and Lily's going to come over there. And they're going to help you out. Yep. They're going to help you out with the party. The packing party. No, not well. That's not the plan right yet, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. What's that? No, it was my phone was vibrating. It was probably Lily texting me back. Who? What's that? No. I asked her if she would go there and pack up my glass for me out of that locked cabinet off the kitchen. Okay. Cool, brother. All right. All right. Well, they'll be by. I mean, Dino's talking about coming out there tonight. So, you know, if he calls or texts you, or text him if you don't hear from him. Which ones? Yeah, what about those? Bro, no, that gets loose over time. Yeah, you just got to tighten that up really carefully. You're so funny. Nobody's trying to. Yeah, dude, just use those bolts. Those are great. Okay. And I'm right here, man. You know, if you need anything or whatever, just call me. You call me anytime you want. Call me. You don't have to text me, just call me. It's good to hear your voice. Yeah. Okay, brother, you take care. Okay, bye. All right, man. We got it all hammered down, brother. He is going stir crazy in that freaking house, and I know how that is. See, I've got a podcast to do 3 times a day. And I'm getting high 3 times a day. It's a way to deal with something like that. It helps that I can sit and talk to people, you know? So anyway, George Santos is made quite a name for himself, which is about to be dragged through the mud as he's done a pretty good job of it on his own. I'm pretty sure I tweeted this. Yes, I have the video.
We are following a breaking story in Washington, D.C. Lawmakers have filed for the expulsion of embattled Congressman George Santos. Let's take a listen to what they had to say earlier this afternoon.
Now,
well, thank you all for joining us today.
I told you this guy was a piece of garbage and needed to be removed.
We filed in the House floor an expulsion of George Santos, of Congressman Santos. It's really important for us to recognize that George Santos is a fraud, a liar. He has lied about the most horrific shooting in LGBTQ modern history, the Pulse nightclub shooting. He's lied about 9/11. He's lied about the Holocaust. He's lied about his education. He's lied about his career. And as we all know, just recently, he's been now given classified access to important information and classified information that he should not have. There's been numerous Republicans that have called for his expulsion or resignation from Congress. I want to also note that today myself and the two other freshman members that are LGBTQ, Congresswoman Becca Balint, Congressman Eric Sorensen, have been talking about this expulsion resolution to get George Santos out of Congress. In addition to that, two other members have been leading efforts to really take on George Santos, and of course that has been Congressman Dan Goldman, who's also a freshman, and Congressman Richie Torres. And they have been leading efforts as well with the House
Bottom of the hour,
Committee.
Jimmy.
So those have been things that have been really, really important for us.
Good news like this makes me want to smoke, get my bong out and smoke, maybe dance jig and smoke, say, ha-ha, George Santos, smoke,
to get rid of George
he's
Santos.
gone, smoke,
it is time
they're
for
going
him
to
to
kick
go.
him out, smoke,
We gave him plenty of time to resign, and he's chosen not to do
he's
so.
a
So I
piece
want
of
to first
crap,
turn this over
smoke,
to
he's a big
Congresswoman Becca
lying
Balint.
crap,
He's going to say a few words, and then we're going to have a few folks also.
Now wait a minute.
Happy to be out here today to say that so many of us ran on a platform of shoring up the democracy, of
everybody
making it possible for Americans to believe in government again. And right now, many of you know we're at an all-time low of confidence in government.
No law regarding cannabis.
60 years ago, 75% of Americans polled said that they had trust that the government would, most of the time, take care of them, do right by them. Right now, only 2 in 10 Americans will say that. Having George Santos in Congress with us is not at all helping us to rebuild trust in government. And as Robert said, as a proud member of the LGBTQ community, outraged that he lied about the Pulse nightclub shooting, as the granddaughter of someone killed in the Holocaust, outraged that he used that to get elected. And, I didn't ever thought I'd say this, but I stand with Mitt Romney. He has to go.
And Congressman Eric Sorensen.
I stand here today to speak on behalf of those who are trustworthy in our government. I was a kid growing up different in Rockford, Illinois, not thinking that anyone was going to allow me, growing up gay, to be the meteorologist on my television in my hometown.
I love that.
Not only did I get to do that, but over 20 years, I earned the trust of the people that have sent me here to represent them. I'm the very first LGBTQ member of Congress from the state of Illinois, and it happened outside of Chicago. But incredibly, I'm only here because the people have learned that they can trust me. I'm not saying I got the weather right when I was on television every day, but the people could trust me when they had to make life-saving decisions to take their families to the basement because the tornado was real. I stand here with other members of Congress who are trustworthy. We're here to serve the constituents in our districts. We're here to serve the people of the United States of America, and we need to make sure that everyone in this body, in this incredible body of the House of Representatives, does the same. And clearly, there's one of us that does not.
Thank you, Congressman Dan Goldman.
Thank you, Congressman Garcia, and thank you for filing this motion, this resolution, rather. It is a shame that it has come to this. It is a shame that the Speaker of the House, the Republican Conference Chairwoman, Elise Stefanik, who was George Santos's biggest supporter during his campaign and helped him rehire staff after many resigned because of his lies. It is a shame that they did not asked George Santos to resign from Congress and instead thought that they could stem the wave of opposition based on making him resign from his committees.
I agree.
He should have resigned. He should not be a member of Congress. And we are left with no choice but to put a resolution on the House floor to expel him from Congress. He defrauded his voters. He defrauded the state of New York. He has used in the most shameless fashion his the true monuments, or I should say the true travesties of so many different communities, including the LGBT community and the Pulse nightclub, including the Jewish community, by claiming falsely that he is Jewish in a district that is more than 20% Jewish, and claiming that his ancestors escaped the Holocaust. This is not just a simple liar. This is a con man who does not belong in Congress, and he needs to go. So we will put this resolution on the floor, and we will have an up or down vote on whether or not George Santos, a serial fraudster, belongs as a member of Congress. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Congressman Richard Torres.
Well said.
You know, yesterday George Santos said that he refuses to go to the back of the room or the back of the bus. And, you know, it's plausible that Mr. Santos is so delusional that he's mistaking himself for Rosa Parks. But he is not a victim here.
Boom.
We're the victim of his fraudulent behavior. You know, Senator Mitt Romney spoke for the majority of Americans. He spoke for both Democrats and Republicans.
Yes, he did.
When he referred to George Santos as a sick man.
Yes, he did.
There is something sick about a man who lies about his mother dying on 9/11.
Isn't this funny?
Who lies about his employees dying in the Post mass shooting, who lies about his ancestors surviving the Holocaust, who lies about struggling with brain cancer. There's something sick about a man who not only lies...
Now, I spoke all over that, and what this man says is beautiful and should not be spoken over. I'm going to let him speak. I'm backing it up so you can hear him. This guy's awesome, what he says.
Santos as a sick man. There is something sick about a man who lies about his mother dying on 9/11, who lies about his employees dying in the Pulse mass shooting, who lies about his ancestors surviving the Holocaust, who lies about struggling with brain cancer. There's something sick about a man who not only lies pathologically, but violates almost every law imaginable. House ethics, campaign finance law, securities law. And so we're here to send a clear message that if Kevin McCarthy refuses to hold George Santos accountable, we will. We will hold George Santos accountable for conduct unbecoming of a congressman. We are going to expel George Santos because he is a deep rot at the very core of the United States Congress. In a country of 330 million people, only 535 have the high honor of serving in the United States Congress.
We'll find someone better.
One of those people should not be George Santos, period.
Well said.
Absolutely.
It'd be real easy
Just
to find
to
someone.
conclude, we want to just also note
he should have said
that
when he said there's this many people, he should have said any one of those people would make a better choice than George Santos.
Congressman Torres, Congresswoman Ballant, Congressman Sorensen, myself, we're all LGBTQ. And George Santos, of course, is gay, we think. And he has disgraced our community. And what we hear within our community is a huge disgust and shame for his behavior and his lies within our own community. So it's important for us as gay people, as queer people,
minus Dan Goldman,
of course, and an ally, which with Mr. Goldman, to take on really this liar.
Come on, tall guy. You got the memo, right? Young men, get your done up the down and down, be there. Down up, down, you can work out and go and be strong. It's fun to stay at the YMC. Come on, A guy. What's up, A guy? You're the A guy. You're the A guy. Come on, A. It's fun to be at the YMC. Dude, you got A. This is you. This is you. It's funny if they're like, they start playing that song. Bum, 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 bum.
And this fraud. And so this has already been filed today. We look forward to working. We've been talking, of course, to House Republicans. We already know many of those who have already asked for his resignation. And so we're going to get this onto the floor and we're going to expel George Santos. So thank you very much. Is there any quick questions?
Why not wait for an indictment or for ethics to bring charges?
Well, I think it's pretty clear, obviously, that he's violated campaign finance rules. He's violated ethics rules. I mean, he's practically admitted to them. And he is lying about everything that we know him as a person. And so it's pretty obvious the time to expel him is now. He had plenty of time to resign, and he's chosen not to.
Why not wait until you get Republicans to sign avoiding this?
Well, I would just add one thing. The law doesn't actually preclude him from lying about his education, his employment history, his religion, any of the other his qualifications for the job. The law is very focused on financial disclosures and campaign finances. And he should be held accountable because even his own statements have revealed that his financial disclosures are false. But we cannot wait for him to be indicted or for an ethics investigation, because those things will not address the things that he has already admitted to lying about. He is a serial liar who does not have the trust of his constituents, 78% of whom have said that he should not be in Congress and should resign. And
okay, 78%. Wait, that would be 18. Jiminy, 78. Is that the counter? That 18, 78, 80 would be 20. 80 would be 20. 78 would that be 21, 22? 22%. 78. The counter of that is 22, right? 22 plus, what's 22 plus 78? Yeah, right? You guys, 22% of the fucking idiots that voted for George Santos, 22%, after knowing what they know now, still fucking support him as a leader, as someone who represents them. Think about that. 22%. Think about that. That number's way too big. Way too big. Those people are psychos, and that's the problem right there. Now, once they've been shown that the guy's a liar, and it's proven that he's a fucking liar, and everybody knows he's a fucking liar, and it's all over the news and everything like that, and you're still going to tell me you support this guy as being a leader in a leadership position, we can see exactly what the problem is with society. 22% of, a percentage of the people that voted for him, which are 22% of Republicans that voted for him, right, are complete and utter morons. They don't even understand. Someone throws sand in your eyes and you go right back there and open your eyes up in front of them again and wait for them to do it again and ask them to do it. That's that 22%.
He does not have any credibility to walk these halls of Congress. He does not belong here.
And his own constituents, by the way, and Congressman Goldman and Congressman Torres know this, they've called for his expulsion and resignation. And so we've heard that from his constituents.
Why not get Republicans have you spoken to any Republicans to get them on board with this resolution?
I mean, there's been obviously almost, I think, 10 Republicans that have called for his resignation, and so that's something that we're all going to be working on.
Also, the majority of House Republicans in New York have called for George Santos to resign, and Mr. Goldman and I just had a meeting with the governor, the New York delegation. George Santos was not invited. Like, his colleagues want nothing to do with him. His constituents want nothing to do with him. He's persona non grata to every single Republican except the leadership that's protecting him.
That was a bipartisan delegation of New York Congress members.
And bottom line, he was elected under false pretenses. That's right. We don't need to wait for an indictment.
That's right. Any other questions?
Yeah, are you just worried about any kind of precedents this might set in the future if Republicans decide that a Democrat's a liar?
Yeah, this is an unprecedented person. I mean, there is nothing that we know about him that we know is truthful. He's lied literally about his entire background. And so I think this is an unprecedented moment, and the House should come together to expel him.
We also do want to set a precedent for excluding a future George Santos. That's the kind of precedent we want to set.
Absolutely.
I can guarantee that all 5 of us would be standing here. We wouldn't need to be standing here if there was a Democrat who lied up and down like George Santos did. We as Democrats would never accept this within our own party, and it's time for the Republican Party to do the right thing.
Absolutely. Any other final questions? I have not personally spoken directly to him. I've passed him in the halls, but we have not checked it.
Here's my question: why are there only 5 of them standing there?
He's attacked me on Twitter. I think, what did he say? Stop obsessing about me. I'm married. You know, I will admit that I'm fully obsessed with driving Mr. Santos out of Congress because he has no business being here.
Jeffries has said repeatedly that he thinks that Santos is a Republicans' mess for them to clean up and not a Democrats' mess.
Yes, absolutely. So we've been actually talking to the leader, and so he's aware of what's happening today.
You don't think it's 70 Republicans onto this stuff, do you?
I think we should. I think we're going to work to get 7 Republicans. We're going to work to expel them. I think that's the goal.
But regardless of whether Republicans, the American people have a right to know where each and every member of Congress stands with respect to George Santos. Right? It's one thing to condemn him behind the scenes. It's something else to force a vote and see where everyone stands. I think we need transparency.
Absolutely.
We need to restore the full faith and trust of the government that is representing the people.
We want to vote on this, regardless of the outcome.
Absolutely. I think we should, and we're going to demand a vote. And I think at the end of the day, we want to know also where Kevin McCarthy stands. I mean, clearly he's giving them access to classified briefings. Unacceptable. So it's time to expel George Santos.
And one last thing that related to Kevin McCarthy and Elise Stefanik, they have not asked him to resign. Now, some people have said that's because they have such a narrow majority, but there's been extensive reporting that they both were aware of George Santos's lies during the campaign. Wow. And the question then is, are they not asking him to resign because they are worried about what their involvement was and that might come out? So that's an open question that has yet to be answered. They have not addressed that.
And Kevin McCarthy forced him out of his committee. We're just saying, why stop there? We should force him out of Congress.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
That was excellent, man. I commend all 5 of them, and I question the rest of Congress. Why are there only 5 of them standing there? How many people signed on to that bill, to get that guy ousted? All right, you guys. Thanks for watching the show. I'll see you guys tonight. Turn on your notifications so you know when it is that I go live, and that is the time at which we will do this thing, the show. All right? All right. Take care, everybody. Love y'all. Oh, and remember, I'm at Nays Garden on Twitter. Could really use some help up